What's going on, everyone? So I want to talk about the kind of edge that the Lakers have, chip on their shoulder, the motivations that many of these players, coaches, this team in general has. Because I love it, right? Obviously, Luka's the big one. Luka Doncic, body transformation, ready to come for the league. And I do. I think he will. I think he's going to have an MVP level season. I think he's going to be unbelievable. And I think the Lakers are going to be one of the best teams in basketball. I really do. I think Lakers are going to be one of the best offenses, if not the best offense. To me, it's just kind of, can they be in the top, 12, 15 range defensively? I wouldn't be shocked if they're, the 2 or 1 seed even to close out this season ahead. Obviously, baby steps. Everything is, building blocks towards the postseason, right? Got a long time between now and the end of the season, and it starts with training camp, which the Lakers are currently in. And, we'll get more and more information as days progress on guys kind of coming in their own and who's the standouts and, who's looked really good. And then we'll get preseason in a couple days and everything will start to kind of shape itself out a little bit on kind of some of the expectations going into the regular season. But obviously, again, Luka is the big one. He's the big, what is he going to do? What is he going to bring? Everyone strap in because we're about to have the best player in the world step out on the basketball court in purple and gold. You have a full training camp, a full preseason, finally start to build some chemistry. It's really hard to just plug and play any type of star, all-star, or anything like that. And then you're talking about one of the 3 best players in all of basketball at worst being plugged in on a Lakers team with LeBron James and trying to navigate and figure those things out. It's just, there's so many things that go into the addition of Luka Doncic that now they're going to be able to kind of work out and carve out and kind of, do things properly. But beyond that, right, you have Deandre Ayton, kind of the big reclamation project, which again, I think he's going to have a career year. And I don't even, like, when I say career year, I don't even necessarily mean scoring. I don't necessarily mean he's going to be like 25 points and 17 rebounds or anything like that. I'm talking about, I just think he's going to be ultra efficient because he's going to be playing off of Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves. Like, he could average 15 a game and it still could be one of his best seasons of his career because of the efficiency that I think he's going to have if he can buy in defensively, because he's going to have more energy, because he's just going to have such an easy cake job. He's going to be motivated. He's going to be hungry. He has a lot to prove. He even talked about how, like, hey, I don't want to take this for granted. I understand people say I'm on my last leg, my last life, whatever you want to call it. I'm aware, I understand, and I'm ready to deliver. Right? And you've heard good things coming out of, the offseason and training camp with Deandre Ayton, really buying in, really focusing. But, okay, you got your 2 kind of main guys. And in my opinion, I think that that's going to be the best 2-man game in all of basketball. Last year, it was Jalen Duren, as well as Cade Cunningham was the best kind of 2-man game, that pick and roll, most efficient shot in all of basketball. Lakers, I think, with Luka Doncic and Deandre Ayton, I think that will be number 1. I think that pick and roll is just going to be deadly. Like, good luck, right? But, you have that. But then guys like Marcus Smart. I mean, he even talked about how he has a lot to prove and how JJ and Rob and them said, like, hey, we need Boston Marcus Smart. We need Marcus Smart to show up, be that defensive anchor, be that guy that is the leader and all those things. And he even talked about that he believes he can get back to that, right? He's been working on his conditioning, trying to get his body right, trying to get his mind right, trying to get everything in order so that way he can kind of get back to a version. I'm not talking about, defensive player of the year Marcus Smart. I don't expect him to be that, but can he be a version? And again, like, he has so much to provide this team, and he's kind of one of the only guys that we have that could solve exactly what this team's biggest glaring need is at the moment. Obviously, if we can still get an Andrew Wiggins at some point or something like that, I'd love that. But Marcus Smart, at that starting 3, if he can be efficient shooting the 3 ball, playing alongside Luka Doncic, LeBron James, and Austin Reeves, while also being able to defend 1 through 3 at a high level, that could do wonders for this Lakers team. That could be the difference between the Lakers being a true contender or not. If he can stay healthy and play these games and stuff. Same thing again with the Deandre Ayton and guys. Like, guys need to prove themselves from games played to you name it, right? So to me, right? You have these guys that all, again, are going to bring this sort of edge, that are going to want to be the best versions of themselves, that all know that this might be their opportunity. This might be their shot to really kind of show everybody that what they can do and that they still got it and stuff. Right? You know, Deandre Ayton, he could be looking at vet minimum contracts and coming off the bench, you know, for the next handful of years if he doesn't get this right. So he's going to be the best version of himself. Like I said, I'm not worried about DeAndre Ayton this year. My concern with DeAndre Ayton is he's really good this year. Lakers give him like 4 years, $100 million or something like that. And then he just is like, all right, we're good. All right. Like throw the legs up. Nothing else, nothing to see here, right? Like that's my concern with DeAndre Ayton. Marcus Smart obviously is just the injury bug, right? Him being able to stay healthy, being able to stay there out there on the basketball court and stuff. He can get right and he can kind of, you know, play the games necessary. Then he is a guy that can, again, have a huge impact for this Lakers team. So you kind of add those two guys. Again, those guys could have been the difference maker even last season in that series against Minnesota and stuff like that. Now you got them this year. This Lakers team is better this year than it was, you know, last year. And honestly, could be probably the best Lakers team we've had in a long time. I mean, maybe since the bubble, right? I mean, but, you know, a lot of other teams have gotten better too. So these are all things we got to keep in mind. But, you know, you can even expand it to Gabe Vincent, right? Gabe Vincent has a lot to prove. He looked good towards the back end of the season last year, but, you know, and yes, he played 70 games, but he was like abysmally bad, right? He was god-awful bad, like worst player in the league bad. Not my opinion, like was a statistical fact. I made videos about it because he was so bad, right? So can he kind of get to be more consistent, be that Miami Gabe all of us were excited to see when the Lakers signed him? Because there was a point in time where we were all very excited and very stoked that the Lakers landed him because we knew what he could do on a basketball court on both sides of the basketball and was the third on many nights, second best player on a finals run. Right? Like he was the guy that was hitting big shots and playing and doing all those things. So he's a guy that could be game changing. Jared Vanderbilt, right? He said himself, like, it's nice to have a full off season, a full summer to like really kind of get things right. You know, people talk about like, oh, we see the shot improvement every year. And it's like, we don't, right? Like, except we don't. Right? We got him in 2023. We had it the following season. Everything was looking good. He was looking like a new and improved Jared Vanderbilt. He comes in, we get one game in which he was like, whatever, three, I think it was like 3 of 5 or something like that, whatever, or 2 of 3, and ended up all of a sudden getting hurt, and then that was it, right? Like, that was all we got. It was like, we got like 40% Jared Vanderbilt from 3-point range, and it was like, all the promise is there, and then he gets hurt next game, and it's just like, there he goes. And then last offseason, he had double foot surgery. So no, he didn't. He didn't get to practice and warm up and do all these things and work on his 3-point shot and all that stuff. He got to this offseason. So now you're going to have Jared Vanderbilt, who hopefully can be, you know, at least serviceable offensively, but can he get back to that defensive version? Talked about it, made a whole video about it. He was the most efficient defensive player in all of basketball last year, or most versatile, not efficient. Sorry, most versatile defense player in all of basketball last year. And again, it's not my opinion. It was statistical fact. And that was with him being a step behind. I talked about it all season when he was healthy. Like, man, he just looks like he's getting beat in areas that he usually doesn't get beat in. He's a little slow getting his spots that he did. He's clearly a step or two behind. And he was still one of the best defensive players in all of basketball last year. Imagine what he'll be if he can stay healthy, you know, now that he is healthy and kind of continue to progress and grow and kind of get back to being that 2023 defensive Jared Vanderbilt, where it looked like he was teleporting and instant transmission all over the court. And then, you know, if he can give us something offensively, that could do wonders for this Lakers team. You know, you start stacking these things up. All of a sudden, this team is going to be incredible, right? Add in JJ Redick, who made a great point, right? Like, I went from literally commentating the NBA Finals and 2 days later, the head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers, right? Like, everything changed. Everything was like, I had to adapt and just on the fly, here we go type thing. Where now he had an entire offseason to prep and prepare and do all the things that he needed to do to where he can be better. He has a chip on his shoulder. He wants to prove that he's a championship level coach and one of the best coaches in all the basketball and all that stuff, right? Like, you know, you go down the list of guys on this team. LeBron, to an extent, you can make an argument for, right? Like that he's still got it and can play to a championship level and belongs in the finals again and what he can do. And, you know, he's just, you know, he's ready for another 10 years type thing, right? Like Austin Reeves, like more so playoffs than the regular season, but even him, he has a lot to prove. Can he coexist alongside Luka Doncic and LeBron James? There were moments last year that looked great, but there are also moments that looked terrible, particularly the playoffs, because he kind of got relegated to be a catch and shoot, just 3-point shooter, right? Rather than, you know, being able to be that wheel and dealer and playmaker and all those things. Right? You can go down the list. Jake LaRavia is young, so it's kind of one of those things like how much does he have to be? Like he's young enough to where he could take some time, but even him, he wants to prove himself. Dalton Knecht is a huge example. My problem with Dalton Knecht though is I think even if Dalton Knecht is great, right? Like I think he's just proving himself to get traded. Like that's what I think is going to happen. I think he's building and improving himself, and Lakers will be like, ooh, right? Like he's this is perfect type thing, and he's going to end up getting traded. So that's why I don't really want to mention him too much. But you have several vets on this team. You have several guys that have had big impacts other places, that have been big components in other places. Guys on this Lakers team that have been big components on this Lakers team in the past, right? That all have stuff to prove. And if they can kind of get everything right, if they can get everything honed in, if they can kind of, you know, use each other to springboard one another into that place of like, hey, we're a top fleet team, I think that's beautiful. I want guys that want it. I want guys that have something to play for. I want guys that, you know, there is a concern and a level of selfishness, which can be a concern without a doubt, right? Like Austin Reeves is playing for a contract. Deandre Ayton's playing for a contract, right? You got a lot of these guys that are playing for contracts. So if you're the Lakers, right, you need to be able to you know, keep those egos and make sure everyone's on board and buying in. But if everyone does, I love having guys that, yes, obviously the goal is to win an NBA championship, but I need to prove that I belong and that I can be a part of that. And that can go a long way for a team, especially this Lakers team, in our pursuit of trying to win an NBA championship. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion. I pass a question on you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me a lot. Lets me enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one.